G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on the brand new expansion. This is the Sultan's Ascend, of course, for Age of Empires 4, and I'm incredibly excited to be bringing you this casted game. Spawning in the north of the map in the color orange, playing as the Ayyubids, it's Beastie. For anybody unfamiliar with the Ayyubids, this is the Abbasid dynasty variant. Brand new one, works a little bit differently. We'll go into exactly how it works in a little bit, but before we do, we've got to introduce our second player for the game in the south side of the map. Playing in the color yellow as the Byzantines, it's Valdemar. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. This is one of those Dry Arabia maps that always has, it's a bit weird. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. They have this little, I don't know if you can see it on the minimap. If you have a look on the minimap, you can see it right there. It's a, it's like a asteroid has hit and a relic spawned at the bottom of it. It's a bit weird because it's very rare that this happens, I'd say. But anyway, let's talk about it because we've got ourselves a brand new matchup here. This is a new civilization versus a new variant civilization. So the question is going to be, which way does Beastie look to go? Because he has got so many damn options available to him early game. Now, one of the things to note is as the Ayyubids, I need to make sure I pronounce these correctly. Ayyubids? I like to say Ayyubids. Ayyubids. The Ayyubids? The Ayyubids? Is the emphasis on the U? I'm not sure. Anyway, with the Ayyubids, what's important to note is that you have 4 wings, just like you did before. However, you get to choose your bonus, and your bonus scales with age. As an example, you've got an option for 300 wood down here. After you've aged up, you'll get 300 wood. However, if you save that for castle age, instead of that being 300 wood, that'll be 1,000 wood. And then imperial age, 2,000 wood. You get the picture. And each one of their bonuses changes. So it depends exactly how Beastie's feeling today. At the moment, I would say the most powerful one that that players are frequenting is going to be this bad boy right here, the trade wing, the Bazaar. So I'm curious to see whether he's going to be looking to pick that up. We do see that he's very, very close to that age up now. Does also have the option for an early age up or a fast age up, but I definitely don't think it's worth getting into this early on. You know, time isn't really of the essence at this stage of the game, but we do see the age up now coming through. There it is. Now, one thing to note is it doesn't actually show on the UI. I don't know why this is. Perhaps it'll get fixed in a couple of months. The devs will do us properly, but we do actually see it's going to be economic wing growth, which is an economic wing, and it will grant 3 villages upon completion, and your orchids will also gain 50 food. Or should I say orchards? Because orchids are a plant. And I just pronounce things incorrectly all the time, so I do apologize. Orchards. Your orchids get 50 additional food. So that's these bad boys over here that are around the berry bushes. So I don't know if that affects the ones that are already existent, or whether you have to build a new mill to get them, or whether you just won't be able to get it on these ones. But I know that if you build a mill out here, that you'll have access to them. On the other side of the map, though, we do see Valdemar looking to make an early play here with the Grand Winery. So you've got a couple of options for you, the Grand Winery or the Hippodrome. Hippodrome is kind of like the school of cavalry that the French get, where you have a stable early on, whereas the Grand Winery is a little bit more focused on economy. At least it would seem that way, but it's a nice blend of both, because depending on what you want to do, it allows you to pick up earlier mercenaries. So from these berry bushes, as the Byzantines, you're going to be able to gather olive oil. And with the Grand Winery, you'll be able to gather more olive oil from these bushes. So instead of being 750, because it works out to be 50% of whatever a berry bush has got, it will become 1,200, which is not too bad. It goes all the way up to 80%. So age up comes through Valdemar in just before 4 minutes. We'll check in on the other side of the map and see how Beastie's doing. And I really want to see whether these ones, you can see that Beastie's actually got 12 left on this. Does it get the extra 50 food when the age up happens? Let's take a look and see. It does get the extra 50 food, so I'm glad to see that Beastie actually managed to leave that one right before it was about to run out of food. So that's cool to know. So 400 food, and he picks up 3 villages early on. I suspect is he housed at the moment? Yeah, he might be housed, so he doesn't have the space for these villages. So one of those things where it's like, you know, he's the best player in the world, or one of the best players in the world, yet still we're learning, right? We're still learning, because there's the 3 villages that pop out, and ideally you want to get them as soon as you age up. You know, you don't want any delay there, but have a look at this. Interesting decision by Valdemar as well, not looking to go for a diagonal aqueduct, but instead looking to go for just a very straight aqueduct, a very geometric aqueduct, if I could say. So just looking to try and save a little bit of space in the base, wants to keep all of this area for farms. Village is now going to be moving out to the Grand Winery. Now, we'll take a look at how Beastie's doing as the walls begin to come up for Beastie in the north of the map. Is he thinking about a second TC? Indeed he is, and they also have the wheelbarrow coming through for him as well. So second town center almost on the way here. Keep in mind he's going to be paying that full price for the second TC because even though he is the Ayyubids, he doesn't get that bonus from their eco wing. Another thing to note is that the Ayyubids don't have access to the reduced cost of villages. So here you're going to be paying full price for your villages. You don't get the 32 food cost on your villages. So it's another little thing that sets these two civilizations apart from each other. Let's check in on the south side of the map as it looks like Voldemar's going to be opting for a second TC as well. 5 minutes and 40 on this TC timing. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it makes sense to be going for the second system this early, just because the impact that the system gives you really to me doesn't seem that big, at least not to justify this early. And the main reason is because you're going from 5% to 10%, whereas with a town center, the sooner you get this bad boy down, then the sooner you're going to have those villages online. So that's, I guess, something to consider. But in the north of the map, Beastie's obviously scouted out his opponent. He knows exactly what Voldemar's up to. He knows where the town center is, and he knows that he's going for a second TC. So Beastie says to himself, well, I can be a little bit more greedy with my TC placement. Normally, you wouldn't really see Abbasid players or Ayyubid players looking to put their town centers forward like this. Normally they'd be somewhere on the back line, over on berries, you know, somewhere away from that front. But Beastie going quite aggressive with this town center. It's important to note that town centers have actually been nerfed recently. And hold on a minute, is he making this relic part of the wall? And is that what we're seeing? Are we going to see? There's no way that units can't walk through a relic. And if that's the case, you've got to be careful where you place your walls down, because this seems like a great place to put down a wall. The problem that you're going to have is this relic is actually going to be part of it, and that's hilarious. I can't believe that we're seeing that. Let's check in, though, with the base and see how he's doing. Looks like we've got the mercenary house coming up for him here. He's got about 400 in the bag at the moment. Going to be looking to ally himself with the Western mercenary contract, which will give him access to longbowmen in the feudal age. And indeed, it looks like we're going to be having ourselves a bit of a funny wall down here. I wonder if this gets abused. I wonder if Beastie finds a way into the enemy base through this wall. Well, I guess at least you don't need a gate. I guess that's one way to look at it. We'll check in with Beastie and see how he's doing on that north side. Actually, before we do that, take a look at this. We're about to see 3, 2, 1. Here are your settlements coming through. Boom. There you go. Look at that. Border settlements have arrived, and wow, isn't that beautiful? Now, one of the other things to note is that it reduces the time it takes for you to make houses. So it's a really nice upgrade to have if you find yourself getting housed a lot. You just pop that one and boom, all of a sudden you're good. So anyway, let's move on. Let's check in with Beastie, and it looks like we've got a double stable coming out. And have a look at this. We've got camel or desert raiders together with horsemen coming out of the stables. This is wonderful because it means in the early game that you can realistically just make the one production building, and you don't have to worry about switching into the archery range because you've already got that ranged unit. And keep in mind, the way that this unit works is it does bonus damage against cavalry. Very, very good against horsemen. And the horsemen obviously good against archers. So you kind of got 2 units covered. And then the third one, that's the spear. Well, congratulations, you've got a ranged attack, and that's how you're going to deal with it. One thing to note is the ranged attack doesn't get bonus damage against spears, though. So it leaves you in this awkward spot of having to deal with a lot of spearmen in a difficult way. It basically means you have to micro, and you must be paying attention, because if you don't pay attention, you're going to lose your units very, very quickly. But we now start to see Voldemar on the defensive here. 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. The first longbows are out and look to defend the position. Keep in mind, one of the great things about these longbows is that they upgrade throughout the ages and they get access to the unique abilities that the main civilization has. So here you'll see that they have access to palings. Keep in mind that when they do hit Imperial Age, they'll also get access to volley, which is the increase of attack speed. But have a look at this right here. Yeah, just as we suspected, this wall was incomplete. Exactly like the Backstreet Boys song. What year did that come out? If you had to guess, Backstreet Boys, incomplete. I'm going to go with like 2005. I reckon that's it. That's such a great song. I tell you what, whenever I'm doing karaoke, because for anybody who doesn't know, my wife, she's Filipino and they love karaoke. That's my go-to song, Incomplete. Oh, God, what an absolute banger of a song that one is. Anyway, we move on, we move forward, and we'll talk about something that's not me singing Backstreet Boys songs at karaoke. All right, well, Beastie picking up upgrades. Voldemar also picking up upgrades. I'm loving this new combination that we're seeing here. The most common combination you'd see from the Abbasids early on. I mean, until infantry became a really big thing, it was the camel rider / horseman combination. And now instead you've got the camel or the desert raider replacing the camel rider. which is pretty cool to see. The fact that the Ayyubids can do something similar but different. Walls coming up on that north side as well. Keep in mind there has been a change to walls recently, and that's why we do see walls coming up along the edge of the map like this for Voldemar. But have a look at the upgrades coming through for Voldemar here. He's looking to pick up plenty of them. Unique Spearman now coming out as well for Voldemar. He's looking to go with the double unique unit combo early on in this game. It's going to be the longbows together with the Lamedonai. Lamedonai? As I said, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce this. I heard Spirit of the Law say Lamedonai. I'm like, that sounds pretty good, but I've just been calling them the Lamedonai? Anyway, it's a unique spearman. We could just call them the spearman, but look, I'm not going to do you dirty. I am a Byzantine main, and it's important that I learn that just simply because we need to make sure that we pronounce it. We can't just be calling it the unique spearman forever. Speaking of unique, have a look at this aqueduct network building slowly here for Voldemar. He's up to the 3rd level already. One of the things that you want to do before you hit that castle age, ideally you want to get up to the 5th level so that when you place down your Golden Horn Tower, it is maxed out already. Nice little job so far with the Grand Winery. Can fit a total of 28 farms around it to have that little bit of influence. Now, another thing to note with the Grand Winery, I'll just fill this in on for you guys. Because most people will look at the Grand Winery and think, oh, this is a really good landmark, right? It's very solid once I go into farms and all that detail. Because you can see that it increases the gather rate of olive oil from berry bushes and olive groves by 60%. And that's a lot, right? Like you think, oh my God, 60%. But it's only 60% of the base value. It's not 60% on top of the base value. So it means that you're, instead of dropping off, so before here at the Grand Winery, you would be dropping off 3, or I should say for the olive groves, you're dropping off 3 olive oil every time you drop off 15 food. And that goes up from 3 to 5 with the Grand Winery. So it's really not a huge amount that you're adding in by having this Grand Winery. You're going, essentially, every 10 food that you're doing, you go from 2 up to 3. So it's a really small amount. But we do now see that Golden Horn Tower coming through in the back of the base. He needs to make sure that this is covered. It needs to be covered by a system. This is really important and a huge mistake that would get made if he doesn't connect this to the network. It actually mentions on the tooltip, it says that periodically produces unlocked mercenary units for free, and the value of units produced increases with the system's influence. So the system, the influence needs to actually be there, and then that will scale up depending on the level of the system. Now, you'll hear in the north, Beastie actually aged up, but we had no idea that he was aging, just simply because it doesn't appear on our UI. So we'll go in and check with him shortly about exactly which wing he's gone with here, but have a look at this. It looks like Beastie focusing down the aqueduct here, and do we not have the most beautiful animation right here, or what? I absolutely love it. The aqueduct falls, but fortunately, the water stops for the moment. I tell you what, I was scared we were losing all of our water right there, but seems all good. Upgrades starting to come through. We see that we're looking for the veterancy contract as well as +2 ranged attack here. Right now, Voldemar is role-playing as the English. He's got a huge mass of longbowmen, and keep in mind, he can keep this up all day. In fact, there's a lot I want to talk about with the Byzantines because it essentially is a powerhouse in the late game because of a number of factors. But one of them is the fact that they don't need gold. And this kind of reminds me of the English. You know, the English don't need gold because they don't have to leave their base because of the farms. And it's the same sort of thing with the Byzantines because you have olive oil. So if he does look to go into the foreign, the foreign mercenary company, I think it's called, he can actually pick up siege for olive oil. And olive oil you get from farms. So basically the way that it works is that you're generating gold from your farms, even though it's olive oil, but you're turning the olive oil into units that cost gold. That's essentially the best way to think about it. Let's check in with Beastie, see how he's doing in that north side of the map, and it does indeed look like he's gone into the trade wing. Definitely the right call here. One of the most powerful landmarks or choices that you can make here as the Ayyubids is to head into this wing. It is objectively the best wing that there is. I'll try my best to explain how it works. So you can see that you've got 7 little buttons that you can click down here, and that's because of the trade wing. And the way that it works is every 4 minutes, you're going to get an offer, right? It's random. It could be anything. It could be, you could have 4 offers to buy wood, and they're always favorable exchanges. Oh, look at that. Beastie coming out immediately. He's like, check out my magic. It's a magic. But anyway, so you've got different offers that come to you, and it's really the Ayyubid casino is the best way to think about it because some of them are really good, right? Like Beastie's at 83 villages, his opponent's at 73. If he gets 4 rolls that are all villages, He's just going to buy them all, and you can see it's going to be a boost of 16 villagers just in an instant. Where, unfortunately, here it looks like he has rolled some food, so not going to be the best roll there, but did get a couple of skirmishes, and skirmishes are nice to have out on the field here. You can see the Bedouin skirmishes, I think, is the pronunciation. I really need to make sure I get all of these correct, and Beastie over the top! Doesn't find much success with it, but I tell you what, that was a bit scary, wasn't it? When all that fire comes down, it's looking like, is it... Who does fire and the flames? Through the fire and the flames? Is it Dragon Force? Dragon Force. Looking a little bit like Dragon Force right there. God, look at the damage, my lord. That, jeez. That shits on a mangonel, doesn't it? I guess that's the most polite way to say it. All right, so Sacred Sites. Starting to be considered. 4 relics in the bag here for Beastie. And now Crossbow's also looking to join into a battle. Keep in mind that when you do take a specific wing as the Ayyubids, you're then not able to reinvest into that wing again. So as an example here, he's gone into trade, so he's not able to get that secondary trade option if he was to go into Imperial Age. He's going to have to pick from a military wing upgrade, pick from a culture wing upgrade. And if I'm honest with you, the best one that you could pick, it's probably going to be this one right here, which allows your House of Wisdom to produce Desert Raiders. And it just does it automatically. So 7 Desert Raiders every 2 minutes for the rest of the game. It's free real estate, right? You don't have to make those units. You don't have to pay for those units. They just come to you for free. So it's free resource generation. And in the end of the game, that's exactly what you want, because you want to minimize how many villagers you have and maximize your army space. That's essentially it. But upgrades starting to come through. Fertilization on the way for BC. Let's check in with Voldemort and see how he's doing. Oh my lord, look at the size of that thing. Oh gosh, this is so painful to watch. So you can see here, he's actually got the horse archers coming through. It's really, really slow that it's coming through because it's not within the influence area of the system. Hold on, wait. How is it within... Oh, is it on the corner? Oh my lord, never mind me. Jeez, it must be right on the corner. He's managed to hit it. Oh, wow. It's still only level 3 though, so I'll critique him on that one, but I tell you what, I'm pleased, pleasantly surprised to see that he managed to fit it. Springald's going to be moving up. Managed to find the Maginique. Doesn't get any shots off today. And Voldemort on the front here. Lametanai on the front. Backline has got those longbowmen firing off together with the crossbows. He is just eating this up for breakfast right now. He's having a field day out here. Lack of Lametanai, though, is going to mean that all of that siege will go down. Where are they all? There's a couple of them coming through. Veterans, he's come in. He's got the Tower of the Sultan pushing through. It's lost a fair bit of health, though. He's going to need more Springles if he wants to deal with it. Either that or melee armor. And get off my screen. Neutralize the Sacred Site. I do not care for thou. Looks like, for the moment, Beastie is going to be forced back. We'll check in, see how these players are doing. Now that Beastie's taken 3 of the Sacred Sites. 3 Sacred Sites, 4 relics, and a 15-villager lead. His economic position is unquestioned in this game. The one thing that you've got to consider, though, as you go later into the game, the Byzantines become more powerful. This civilization, in my opinion, is one of the best late-game civilizations there are, and that is simply because of the Olive Grove. The Olive Grove allows you to collect free resources. Let's talk a little bit about that. So consider your normal farm, okay? You're collecting, let's just keep it basic, okay? 10 food every drop-off. We're not going to do a wheelbarrow. 10 food every drop-off. You buff that bad boy up, 15% with horticulture, 15% with fertilization, 15% with precision crossbreeding. You're up to 45% bonus on top of that. But now all of a sudden with the Byzantines, you're getting olive oil on top of all those upgrades. Maginique, Maginique, Maginique! Not a huge amount of damage just yet. Needs to build those numbers up. He's up to 2 now. But as you continue adding those in, you've got great synergy with the units that you produce. You've got the Lametanai, which we've talked about it already. An incredible amount of resource balance that you can provide here. 80 food, 10 wood. All of that food, you can then spend the olive oil on whether you'd like longbows or whether you'd like some siege. There's great options available for you as you get later on into this game. So Voldemar's going to have himself a very fun late game. As this continues to look like it is just going to get later and later, we've got ourselves some stone walls coming up here. Beastie going to be crossing this map with stone walls. Well, almost. A couple of them are palisades, and you can actually see them running into this wood line here. It doesn't even look like... Oh, never mind. No, that's just the new artwork. I guess you could say new artwork, the new images, the new modeling for the walls. You can see some of it right there as well. Look at that. There you go. It runs into the walls. But now crossing the middle, Voldemar, he's looking to pick a fight. We're going to head into the cinematic mode once again because it is time to get it on. We've got, it looks like Varangian guards on the front here as well. Beastie looking to tee off Manganique. It's only the Mangonel though. He's got to switch the shot from the Mangonel to the Manganique. He's got the double Sprinkled out here, and it looks like he's just going to fall back for the moment. Voldemar knows the Beastie's position is very strong behind those walls. Doesn't want to try and deal with all of those units. And is that? No, I thought it was an Imperial Age. It doesn't look like it's an Imperial Age just yet. Instead, it's going to be a keep coming up here for Voldemar. Just wants to make sure that if he loses out on that fight, he's going to be able to hold off Beastie at least for a little bit of time here. Outpost coming up as well. He's starting to look really solid on this south side. And have a look at this keep. Beautifully positioned on the large gold vein. We talked about it before, the fact that at the bottom of this crater, there was a relic. But we didn't talk about the gold that it left behind, the stone that's here, and the sacred site that's ready to be captured. Can we just talk about how beautiful this keep is? Not to mention the fact that there could be a mangonel emplacement. It is just a damn good looking keep as well. My gosh. It looks like a cross between a church and a keep. It is gorgeous. It's right on board with Beastie in the north. Things going well for him. He's got a great little spawn over here, the gold in the back of the base. I say it's like a great spawn, like it's favoring him, but I don't actually think it's favoring him. It's just that he's taken that portion of the map. But now, it looks like we might have ourselves a big battle beginning to unfold. Wake up, my friend. There he is, finally waking himself up. Mangonel shot comes off. It looks like he hasn't switched over to the fire. Springled's firing off. It looks like Beastie's got the small advantage there, but hold your horses. Range damage is pretty solid here. 2 against 1. Shots coming out, and it looks like, for the moment, Voldemar going to be successful. Lament Knight together with the Varangian Guard, going to be able to take out the last of those Manganiques. And now look at the numbers. Holy moly. The numbers coming out for Voldemar as he begins to push down on the base of Beastie. The boar is here. He's got to be careful of it. Keep going to come up, down towards this western corner. And now being forced back away from it. He's got a large mass of crossbows. It's going to help him as he kites away. But look at the longbows. You know, one of the key things to note with the English is with their longbows, there's a lot of factors that are considered to give them that unit. Whereas here, you've got a civilization that's probably got a little bit more freedom than the English when it comes to aggression. The English, notoriously aggressive in the early stages of the game, but as the game gets longer, it's a civilization that realistically just wants to boom. And it's the same with the Byzantines, but they are explosive when they get these units out and about on the field here. Golden Horn Tower still producing. Horse archers, there they are. Now into Lance Connect. Hold on. Oh, is he... He's close to the trade post. Is that why he's getting it? He's occasionally getting... He's got the horse archer back here. I don't know why you'd want the horse archer. Like, this is where I wish you could choose which unit you could make from the Golden Horn Tower, because I just know that Voldemar would only be making longbows. Longbows in this position are so damn good, and the fact that you've got the Lamedanai that you can pair it with, it is just like a dream come true. Longbows actually going into dice. What's he doing with his longbows here? Is he suiciding these longbows? He doesn't want them anymore? No, he's got 17 of them. What's he doing? Why doesn't he want them? I'll have him. I'll take him. No worries. He's just having a little bit of a scout right now. He's just going through with a single unit. Villagers getting caught out. Beastie reaches Imperial. Which way did he go? He did go military wing, and it looks like he's going to go for the reinforcements. Gosh, look at that. Look at the amount of units he's got out here. Villagers up for grabs here if he wants it. Up to 152 vills, by the way. He's got traders on the back line, 65 gold coming in. And that could be a cause for concern because look at this, he's maxed out 200 out of 200. Significantly smaller military than his opponent. And now coming in towards that fight, Beastie on the front line. Imperial upgrades yet to come through. He's got roller shutter triggers on the way. It's not going to matter. As all of a sudden, Beastie now losing out on the Springleds. He's up against 3-1 on the Springled. Double Manganique on the backside here. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode once again, and look at the micro coming out from Voldemar. He just does not miss a beat, this kid. I tell you what, we've casted a few games from him already. He's looked impressive in all of the games we have watched, but today he's looking particularly good, and he is giving us a beautiful show today watching the Byzantines. I tell you what, this civilization, it is a civilization that is going to... I'm confident this is going to rejuvenate the AoE 4 player base. This civilization is just such a beautiful thing to watch as... slowly and steadily, he pushes into the base of Beastie. But now, we've got those elite upgrades that are about to come through, I think. I don't see gold on them just yet, but I know that they're about to come in. Keep comes up successfully. And now Beastie, he's under a little bit of pressure as he pushes back. And have a look at this. He's pushed out the cistern network, or the aqueduct network. He wants to get that Presidium bonus out here. He wants to try and pull that up to level 5. Let's jump into the UI and take a look exactly that bonus that he's got here. Presidium. With that water level, it scales. So in the event that he does connect it, it's going to mean that that water level on the front line comes up to water level 5. And if that is the case, it's going to reduce the incoming damage that the keep takes by 25%. There we go. The water level now coming through. Presidium is in. Mangonel emplacement as well. Watch out from the top rope. It's going to be the keep. Boom, 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 boom. The Venga boys are here, baby. And he misses. Goes a little bit short. But boy, oh boy, are we in for a treat today, because down in this little hole, down in this tiny little ditch, we've got ourselves a keep that is never going to give up, and it is never going to let you down. That is for sure. 25% reduced damage on that bad boy. Springle's looking to fight up a hill, fighting up against an Imperial aggressor with roller shutter triggers. He's got beautiful micro as well. Don't forget that. Beastie, one of the best in the world. Best in the business, I guess you could say. Probably a little bit more bees, but I find it weird that Voldemar's able to push him back here with such resilience. He's done a wonderful job of connecting. Have a look at the network here. Can we just remark on the aqueduct network and the level of complexity the devs have been able to offer us with this? We see an aqueduct and cistern network connecting all the way through the base here of Voldemar. Doing a beautiful job as he moves through that base, pushes forward, comes out towards this keep, provides that Presidium bonus again, continues moving forward. He's got the production on the back here, with our aqueduct connecting through to the next cistern, giving Presidium again, and now pushing forward. How much are his aqueducts costing? I've got to check this. I've got to check this right now. Oh, sorry, it's his cistern, not his aqueducts. 300 stone a pop. And now with the front line, Castle Age units going up against the elite Camel Lancers from Beastie. He's trying his best to deal with this attack. The keep taking slightly less damage. And oh, look at this! The Bombard almost dying right now. And we do indeed see Imperial Age coming through for him. It's going to be the Foreign Engineering Company for Voldemar. Definitely the right choice in this position. He's got a big olive oil economy. You can see him sitting there with 2,200 olive oil. He's going to be able to turn this into golden units straight away. And oh my god, I totally forgot. I haven't even turn this over to income. I apologize. I know there's probably 16 comments already that have said, Drongo, you forgot to switch it to income. Apologies, guys. Super duper apologies. It is something I normally aim to do between 10 to 15 minutes into the game. Didn't get to do that here today, so apologies. Trebuchet's now starting to fire off. He's yet to pick up that Byzantine fire ability. Keep in mind, at the Siege Workshop here, let's see if we can find it. In fact, I'm just going to hit my hotkey for it. Siege Workshop, the Greek fire projectiles. It's available in the Imperial Age. Gives you a little bit of extra damage on those trebuchets. I'm curious to see whether he picks it up. Have a look at the other elite upgrades on the way through. The elite horsemen coming through. Keep still taking a little bit of damage. I'd love to see Voldemar bring a couple of villagers in just to look to repair this keep. As, oh, you know what? Beastie's got 3 bombards. Good luck. Good luck. We'll just leave it at that. Good luck. I don't like your chances. Back towards, though, the Foreign Engineering Company. And now we can see those royal cannons coming out. 900 olive oil coming out. Beastie trying to set up over on the east side. He's done a decent job so far. Voldemar trying to push through the center. We enter into the cinematic mode as it's time to get it on. Lamed and I on the front. Doesn't look like they've got their elite upgrades just yet, but the longbow's on the back. I don't think they've got theirs either. I don't see much gold in there. Mangonel's taking some shots. Trebs, he's still just fighting Castle Age units up against Imperial Age units, but he's doing a decent job. Hand cannoneer numbers starting to build, and the siege looking good for Beastie as he makes his way through that aqueduct. You can see him slowly dealing with that cistern, and now next up on the menu, it's going to be that aqueduct. We hear a little bit of an attack behind the scenes as well, so we'll have to check in with that and see what's going on over on that corner. It's going to be a couple of camel riders. Actually, I take that back. Camel lancers looking to try and break their way through. He's doing his best to stay in the game, Voldemar, but Beastie is pulling ahead on the score. If there's one way he can get back into it, it's going to be through this royal cannon. Now, keep in mind, at this stage of the game, the gold income is really going to start to drastically slow down. He's going to have to make use of his trade post. If we have a look, how many villas has he got on gold? He's got 20 villagers on gold. I'm not sure exactly where they are. Here they are. Yeah. Well, good luck, friends. 28 minutes into the game, there is not going to be much gold left on this map. I think majority of it's going to be on Beastie's side, as he's done a pretty decent job with the trading. We can see he's got a second one back here. But now pushing through. He's got to be careful with these cannons. Well, bombards, they've moved up a little bit too far forward. Beastie not paying attention here and may lose out 2 of his expensive units here. As the bombards were trying to find their way onto the keep, but that Presidium are going to keep it alive for slightly longer. You can see, I think it would have survived anyway, but hey, a little bit of extra health in the back pocket. I'm not going to complain. Ville's getting pulled. Lamet and I here to deal with it. Indeed they do. It looks like that raid is going to get shut down before any damage gets done. Voldemar holding on for dear life. Still down about 2,000 score in this matchup, and the longbow mass is going to start to push out here. 30 minutes into the game, and the longbows are starting to look decent. He's got the elite upgrades finally coming through on these guys, and it looks like they don't actually get golden hats. It's just going to be silver little hats, and there you hear it, the volley coming off right there. Keep in mind, behind this, he is just pumping units non-stop. He's got these royal cannons all the way through. This Byzantine mechanic is absolutely absurd for the late game. This is something that I've talked about in the what was it, the 13 insane Byzantine mechanics, and this landmark was one of them. The fact that you get free gold in the late game is insane. Anytime you get free gold, it is a ludicrous mechanic to have. And have a look at the units he's got available to him. Definitely making the right choice to stick with the Royal Cannon for the moment, considering the amount of siege or the amount of buildings that he's going to need to siege down here. Does have access to the Hui Hui Pow. And keep in mind, you can put the Byzantine fire on the Hui Hui Pow. Trebuchets look like they might go down if he's not careful, but it looks like the Camel Riders will go down. Camel Riders? Camel Desert. Damn, dude. It's going to take me a while. I just see the camels and I'm like, Camel Rider. He's riding a camel. It's a Camel Rider. Look at this. The split coming in from Beastie. This is what he's known for. His talent at multi-pronged attacks. Battering rams through the center. Over on the east side, it looks like he's trying a little bit of an attack here with our Desert Raiders. I got it right. No, they're horsemen. Come on, Drongo. And now towards the front. This is the main battlefront right here. Hand cannoneers coming through as well. One of the key differences between the English and the Byzantine longbows is they don't have that extra attack speed from the town centers, from the castles, from the outposts. That's the big thing you're going to be missing here. Lategame doing a decent job of shutting down these raids. You can see the horsemen still coming through. Plenty of damage on these guys. And in the middle of the map, looks like the keep stays alive for the moment. He's got that Presidium still boosting him up, but fighting out of this cliff, out of this crater for the moment. Nice little stone wall over on that west side as well. Just going to protect all of that trade. And Beastie sitting on 50 more villages than his opponent. When it comes to income, how much are we talking right now? We're talking 2,200, 3,100. It's about 3,300 plus the 500. I'll give him 4K. Compare that to, oh my God, compare that to Beastie. Jeez Louise, 3,000, 6,000, 6,500, 8,000 income versus, what was it, 4,000? He's double the income right now. But guess what? At this point in the game, income might not matter, because have a look at the difference between army. Beastie's just making villages at this point in the game. With 31 minutes through this, he's got 169 villages, and he says, you know what? We need more. You require additional villages. That's what Beastie's hearing in his headset. Even though he's not a Protoss main, we're still going to give it to him. We're going to say, you must construct additional villages, Beastie. 170. He's up to 170 villages. Why, Beastie? Why? Don't do me like this. And now, look at the size of the army here. How's he going to deal with this? I mean, realistically, he can always look to delete villages, and he's done a great job of expanding out and taking the map. And look, he's really put the Byzantines in the corner. But I want to just re-emphasize the fact that the Byzantines are this civilization that can fight out of the pocket the exact same way that the English can. The only difference is they are 17.8 times more complex than the English. They are very complex. You need a PhD to play this civ, and it's hard. It's a very hard civ to play. Let's just put it that way. Let's check in with Voldemar, though, and you can see he's trying his best to push out here. He's got line of sight towards this northern angle, but realistically, there's not a lot of units. And now look at this, the elite Lategame coming out. They've finally got their golden helmets. They almost look a little bit more yellow to me. He's got a lot of units out. 50 Lategame on the field. The elite upgraded Lategame. We haven't really seen him use much of the shield wall just yet, but he could be looking to try and put the hurt on right now. Look at him as he chases all the hand cannoneers. He says, get out of here. You guys ain't archers. Watch this. Now, fighting for dear life. Beastie might be in a little bit of trouble. The Manjaniques come out. Lategame immediately on top of them. Keep in mind, Beastie could be looking at what age is he at, or what tier is he at. He's at tier level 4 for the Golden Age, which means his siege units are technically being produced for less resources. We can see that they are cheaper, 20% cheaper. So nice little bonus to have there. Did he just hit level 5? No, he didn't. You can see right there, there's the Desert Raiders popping out. 7 Desert Raiders here to pop out. And now Beastie, 33 minutes into this game. Looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble. There's a distinct lack of siege, though, coming out here from Voldemar. And he does have the Royal Cannon that could look to assist. Raid coming through once again. Voldemar starting to feel the pain as Beastie attempts to distract him. And you can see Beastie has indeed deleted those villages, has recapped or repopped up on that. But look at the olive oil. This is what I want to bring your attention to. Olive oil at any point in the game. I mean, realistically, he's still pumping out Royal Cannons. He's still probably making longbows. I don't know. Do we have any longbows in queue? We got one set of longbows in queue at the moment. He's got a lot of olive oil that he can spend. This is free real estate right here. I just want to emphasize that. This is for free, baby. Oh my lord. I say it's for free, but I mean, it's on top of everything, but it's really for free. No other civilization gets this. Obviously, it's taken into account in the whole balance thing, but still, it's free. Oh, did you see the flamethrowers coming out right there? Turning their attention to the camels for a brief amount of time, but then deciding, you know what, the wall's going to be a better target because we do only technically target buildings rather than units. Royal Cannons starting to build up here. He's got 2 on the back line. Another one in queue. Never mind, it's just popped out. He's got 3 out now. Still see plenty of olive oil in the bag right here for him. I'd love to see a little bit of an investment into Nesta Bees. Even right now. Oh, God, there we go. What did he just spend all of that on? He's just queued up a whole bunch of Streltsy. Oh, my Lord. Okay, we're about to see some Streltsy come out. You see the influence of this mercenary contract really coming into play here. Throughout this game, he's had access to different units, but the Streltsy could be what sealed the deal in this game 35 minutes through. He's struggled to push Beastie back, but now look at this, the Harosafon coming in and dealing out that beautiful damage. Doesn't have to deal with pathing issues like its Ram counterpart does, and Beastie's still trying to draw attention towards that other side of the map. You can see that score lead in favor of Beastie heavily. He's up 3,000 points, but who cares about the score when you've got units knocking at your door? Beastie, he's in trouble. Lamettanine numbers, look at the Lamettanine numbers right now. He's got 54 of them on the field, 36 in queue. Streltsy about to pop out. There's somewhere back here. I know it for sure. I've seen them on the field. There they are. Coming out now. You can hear them. Actually, that's not even them. I think that's just Lamettanine. He's not even bringing the Streltsy out. He can't pop them. And that's one of the issues that you run into late in the game, is that because you're maxing out constantly, your Streltsy aren't able to get out because you're constantly being pop blocked by you know, you've heard of the term cock block? Well, this is called pop block, where you're pop blocked by your barracks. Voldemar now looking to try and defend the siege. He's got a pretty nice job of enclosing off that cavalry. We enter into the cinematic mode here, 36 minutes into the game, as Beastie tries his best to deal with it. The Manjaniques fire off, and it's a huge damage onto those villagers. There's still plenty more villagers building up that keep. He moves forward. He's got 3 of them, but oh my God, the micro! Oh, it's beautiful! The micro, he hits all 3 of them with individual cannons. I can't believe what we just saw there. All 3 at the same time hitting individual Manjaniques, saves the villagers, gets the keep up, uses that as a platform to push off. I'm telling you right now, this kid will be at Red Bull Wallalol. The next one that happens for sure. I'm putting my money on it. This kid is amazing. I tell you what, he is pulling off an absolute show for us today. Let's check in with the UI, see how he's doing. Still down 3k score at this point, but you know what? Byzantines don't care, baby. Look at him pushing forward. 40 vils less. He couldn't care less right now. He's got so much olive oil, he doesn't even know what to do with it. He's bathing himself in it right now. Streltsy's just sitting idle. He's got them queued up. He says, you know what? Let's do it. I'll throw a little bit of olive oil your way. Why not? Now Beastie on the defense. He's trying his hardest. He's trying his darnest to hold on, but the Lamettanine numbers are looking very good as the Streltsy finally make it out onto the field. And now he starts to work down all of these units, and Beastie's still trying to find a way into the back of the base. Couple of horsemen coming through here. Still the battering rams as well. Villager's going to be working to try and take it out. Needs to get these walls up again. I tell you what, even if you go for something like stone walls, it's not going to matter. These battering rams are so damn annoying. And keep in mind, Beastie can actually build battering rams with his cavalry. So, whew, you got to watch out for that one. I mean, he's got plenty of siege workshops out here anyways. Classic Beastie moves here, just going for these annoying little raids. But look at this death push that's coming in. Voldemar right now, he is looking strong. He is looking scary. Looks like the what are they called? The Desert Raiders? Desert Raider? No, that's an elite longbowman drongo. It looks like the Desert Raiders doing a decent job, but it looks like the Royal Cannon going to get picked off. Springles on the back. Slowly but steadily. Building up in numbers here, but I'm starting to worry. Look at the Streltsy numbers. He's up to 18 Streltsy, 192 population. And in the back of the base, a slight attack coming in here, but the Lamettanine just having no problems dealing with it. You can see how quickly he's able to deal with this threat back home. Looks like a couple more Lamettanine just going to turn up, and oh my Lord, out of nowhere, they just eviscerate the enemy towards that front side. We're right on board with Beastie as he looks to try and defend this. Slowly, that Harosafon is burning down the house. Will go down. The Springlets do a decent job. Siege numbers starting to build up here. Beastie up to 29 siege at the moment. Holding on for dear life. Starting to lose out on these mosques, though. If the mosques go down, keep in mind, he's got tithe bars. He's going to lose a lot of resources from these if they do go down. And all of a sudden, Beastie's landmarks almost look like they might be exposed. Something to keep in mind. We'll check in with Voldemar and see how he's doing as he begins to push up. Harasafon's on the front, just slowly sieging everything down. He needs to solidify, needs to consolidate, needs to make sure that this attack doesn't happen. This is exactly what Beastie wants. He needs to extend out this game and make his opponent play his game. But the reality is, if Voldemar's able to focus here, if he's able to just push it down the middle, he should be in a really decent spot. Keep in mind, he has no gold income at this point in the game. He's literally making only trash units. Lamettanine and all of the rest of it, it's just coming in from olive oil. Streltsy. But you want to know the beautiful thing about this. What is the unit that dies in your fights? It's the Lamettanine. So the unit that you're replacing, it's the one that costs food. And that's how he can get away with it. That's how he can get away with having these huge masses of longbows, of Streltsy, of siege, because they aren't the units dying. The only time those units are dying are when he gets caught off guard. That's it. Every other time, though, it's just the Lametanai. He sends them in to die, and that's perfectly fine because look at these bad boys. He has just got an absolute ludicrous economy. How many farms, how many olive groves are we talking? 78 olive groves, just casually. Just casually. Don't mind me. He's only got 43 vils on food, but you get the picture. This guy, he loves olives. He loves oil. He's bathing himself in it right now. Wouldn't mind watching it, but, I mean, he's still quite young, so probably wouldn't be advisable. I'll say that much. In fact, I think he only just had his 18th birthday, so it is all above board. We'll say that much. But at this point in time, Beastie's starting to look a little bit better, and I think we've got ourselves another one of those cases where, you know how Beastie does it now? He always looks like he's teetering on the edge, and then right at the end, he manages to overcome his opponent. I feel like it's probably one of those games. Score once again ahead by 4K here. Upgrade starting to come through for Voldemar. Wait, I've just realized. How is... Oh, no, never mind. Beastie's got a lot of siege, but Voldemar's just got a lot of units here. And they are all Lametanai. 63 Lametanai. Whole bunch. How many barracks are we talking right now? Only the 14 barracks. I would love to see a little bit more, but he realistically doesn't have a lot. Oh, God! Sorry that we missed it. Let's see if we can cop the next one, though. Big shots coming off. A lot of damage. And it looks like just the one shot, that's going to be it. And all of the Manjaniques go down here. Beastie trying to solidify the position back home. He knows that the landmarks are on the line. Is Beastie going for the 4th wing right here? Is that what I see? I don't know exactly. Look at the Lametanai. They're charging in. And Beastie right now, he looks a little bit confused. What's he going to do? Keep comes up. Streltsy firing off. All of the Lametanai running in underneath that siege, and all of the Springles are just sitting idly. I think he knows it's over. There's way too many units here. He's trying his best to consolidate, but he just can't do it. There's so many units. The nest of bees coming out behind this as well. A little bit of a counterattack. Is that going to be on the cards? Doesn't look like it as he just gets eaten alive back at home. We hear those Desert Raiders coming out, screaming out, but it looks like it might be a good game. Just simply by the fact that Beastie hasn't had the units to deal with this. A little bit of a counterattack. What do we... Oh, we got a little bit... Oh, all right. He spots it. He sees it. Whether it's going to interest him, though, that's going to be the question. Look at the difference. Did Beastie DC? Has the old F4'd? What's going on here? He's not moving. There's nothing going on right now. There's just this little counterattack on the south side. He's losing landmarks. We've started to lose health off the town center. The Kairusophons are taking down the keep. There's a real chance that the trade line gets under threat here. He's down to 140 vils, 8 units. 150. He's got a handful of units in queue here. Vil's going to get pulled. Does he pop Akratoy defenses? I think he has. He has indeed. Look at that. He's got 4 ranged armor on these bad boys. He pops Akratoy defenses. Says, how you doing, mate? And now those bombards have made their way to the front, or the cannons have made their way to the front. We do start to see that nest of bees unfolding as well, and we've got the triple combination of siege here, together with the Lametanai. A beautiful unit and a beautiful performance today. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Beastie has left the building at this point in the game, but I've just got to remark, an absolutely beautiful performance from both players today. I want to remind you all that even though Beastie has lost this game, we're still at the stage where both players are learning these civilizations. So it's still a situation where neither player is at their full potential just yet. We haven't harnessed that stage. We haven't reached that optimal stage yet, so just keep that in mind. Even though today it looks like it will be a victory over to Voldemar, it doesn't mean that Beastie's still not the #1 beast in town. Just from... Oh, no, he's there. He pops out a whole bunch of units. He's awoken the beast from his slumber. Maybe Marika came in and said, Beastie, I need your help with something in the kitchen. And then he's finally come back to the computer, but at this point the game's well and truly gone. Looks like the siege has been intercepted on the back here. Could look to intercept the trade as well, but I think this is just pretty much it. Wonderful performance here by Voldemar. I just want to compliment him on this use of the Aqueduct network throughout the game. He's done a wonderful job in extending it out everywhere. And the Lametanai. I mean, what an incredible unit. Just the way that he made it move. I don't know how much of the shield wall we saw him use, but if anything for me, it's that extra movement speed that he's gotten. Good game gets called. That's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check out these two creators. I'll leave links in the description to where you can watch them both live over on Twitch. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can purchase the Sultan's Ascend expansion pack for Age of Empires 4. It's an incredible deal for the price that it costs. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.